Not a lot going on this weekend, nothing to really talk about, but oh my god! This is Too Late to Sleep. Okay, so this episode I'm filming, it is 4 a.m. I just got off work. New schedule, I've mentioned it the past couple weeks, still not in a regular thing. You might notice the audio is a little bit different. I'm not using the lavalier mic, I'm using the onboard audio, so we'll see how that works out. We're doing a little bit lighter production today because I just want to get this out. I haven't had a chance to do it through the week. I want to make sure everything got caught up. So this is a little bit rushed, and I apologize. But I didn't want to not do something for WrestleMania because, oh my god, WrestleMania. One thing that I love that has happened over the past 3 to 5 years or so is that WrestleMania weekend has gone beyond just a WWE thing to where it's now the entire wrestling industry just seizes on this one weekend. If a bomb went off in Orlando, and I don't know why that's the phrase, but it's the phrase, don't blame me. But if a bomb went off in Orlando, wrestling would be over. Think about everybody that's in Orlando right now. You not only have everybody that's with the WWE, so all your normal guys, Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, Shane, all the backstage people, that the producers and everything. You got all these great minds, but you got the guys that are not only going into the Hall of Fame, Kurt Angle, Teddy Long, the Midnight Express. I'm sorry, the Rock and Roll Express. But you've got Jim Cornette doing an induction. You've got Eric Bischoff doing an induction. Then you've got pretty much everybody from PWG is going to be in town for one reason or another. You got the Ring of Honor Supercard, which has the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys, the rematch. So you've got all those guys. You got the PWG guys doing different shows because you got the WrestleCon Super Show. Then you've got like 3 different groups doing their own WrestleCon shows. Rev Pro is doing their show. Progress is doing a show. Progress is going to have 3 separate titles. Every member of British Strong Style has a title match at the Progress show. Pete Dunne is defending his title. Tyler Bate is defending the WWE United Kingdom Championship, which is weird because he's a heel in Progress, but he's a face in WWE. And what the hell happens if he loses it? And then Trent Seven is going for, I think, the Atlas Championship. So all 3 of them could walk out with championships. You've got, let's see, you've got 2 different Evolve shows. You've got the WWN Super Show, which is all these different groups, including Evolve, Shine, Full Impact Pro, that fall under the WWN banner, are having their own Super Show with a new champion that's going to be over all these groups, is going to be crowned. WCPW is having their big show that they've been promoting for the past 3 or 4 months. And then Joey Janela's Spring Break, which I only recently found out who Joey Janela is, but apparently a lot of people are aware of him. There's a documentary about him, Joey Janela. I think Please Don't Die is the name. He's the guy who had that real viral clip with Danzig in CZW where he almost died, hence the name. But I guess he crowdfunded this show on Indiegogo or GoFundMe or something. And they're advertising that they booked Earl Hebner, but they couldn't afford to book him to referee an entire match. Just when one of the referees does a bump, he'll run in and do the 3 count. That's how they're advertising him. It's great. But all these different people, like anybody who is anybody in wrestling, is in Orlando right now. It's insane. Some of these shows probably have already happened by the time you're watching this. I think some of them were I'm filming this Thursday night, so some of these already happened. This is going live on Friday night, so even more, but all these things going on. Oh my God. So let's get into it. We got TakeOver Orlando. That is going to be Saturday night, I believe. I'm hoping it's not Friday night, because if it's Friday night, then I'm screwed, because this is a preview for a show that already went out. But you got Ty Dillinger, Roderick Strong, No Way Jose, and Ruby Riott versus Sanity. I'm really hoping that this is the blow-off to this feud. I love Sanity. I think that they've done a really good job lately. This team of three that recently was joined by Ruby Riott, they don't really work that well together. They needed something to do, but there's no real faction warfare in NXT. So they've kind of had to go with this, and Roderick Strong's had to been a good guy for this, when he really works so much better as a heel. I was just watching, I think it was Best Friends on the High Spots Network, where he just really comes across as a douchey frat guy. I'm sure if you know him personally, he's probably loyal, great friend, but just to hear him talk, he's just so easy to hate. And I don't like him as a good guy. I'd rather him be a heel. I'm hoping that something happens soon with that. I gotta say, I think Sanity is going to win this one. I know Ty Dillinger's whole thing is that he needs a win, but there's going to be NXT call-ups after Sunday, so maybe he's one of them. Maybe he doesn't need the win that much. Maybe Sanity needs a little bit of a rub. You got Aleister Black debuting against Andrade Almas. I don't think that they're going to debut Black to a loss. Almas can survive a loss. He shouldn't have to. I really love what he's been doing lately. Ever since they turned him heel, he's just so good at it. It's what he's been doing for so long. It's how he got attention to be signed by WWE in the first place, was as a heel. He's so much better now, but I think they're going to give Black the win, just because you can't put that much investment into these vignettes to debut him and then just have it not go anywhere. You got the tag team triple threat match, I believe is an elimination match, which is perfect. I hate when somebody can win the title without the champion being involved. You got Authors of Pain, hashtag DIY and the Revival. I have sung the praises of DIY and the Revival so many times, and the Authors of Pain are so much better than they get credit for. This match is going to be amazing. Then you've got Asuka versus Ember Moon. Asuka is probably due for a call-up herself. Ember Moon deserves to be the woman to take the belt off of her. There's probably going to be a rematch if that is the case before Asuka's clean on the roster. But I've said before that these two, I got to see them wrestle live, and it was an amazing match. This should steal the show. I think the tag team match is going to be excellent, but I think that this is going to be the show stealer. Then the main event, Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. The first match was really good. I don't know how they're going to outdo it this time, but they're going to have to try. I mean, that's the thing about these takeovers, is when they're put right before one of the big four shows, there's so much pressure on NXT to try and steal the show away, especially before WrestleMania. It's going to be a damn good match. I think Roode's going to keep it. I don't know if Nakamura's ready for the call-up yet or not. I haven't heard anything strong one way or another about when to expect him. But I don't see him getting the belt back. Then Sunday, WrestleMania. This card is stacked as hell. Pardon. Probably going to leave that in. But we've got 3 matches for the pre-show. We've got the SmackDown Women's Championship Open. Naomi came back on Tuesday, which is weird because the whole reason she was stripped of the title was she wasn't going to be able to compete at WrestleMania. But now she is, so she was stripped of the title for no reason. Now, they didn't know she was going to be healthy, I get it, but in hindsight it looks bad. She's probably going to win unless they've got some big secret in store. Somebody coming from out of nowhere to come and join the match, which I haven't heard any rumors, any names floated. I think the reason that they kind of left it open was because they weren't sure if Naomi was going to be physically able to or not. If it's just the women's roster as we know it, I gotta think Naomi gets her belt back. It's her hometown. She was going to be the champion going into it. It just makes sense. You got Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship. I don't expect this to get a lot of time because it's on the pre-show, but I expect these two to go crazy with what time they have. Austin Aries is such a great wrestler. So great with that mindset of how to tell a story in the WWE style. If you go back and watch what he was doing in Impact, it was WWE style without ever having gone through WWE developmental. He had his own twist on it. He had, I like to think of it as a postmodern style where he would look at some of the tropes and play with them in a way that Samoa Joe sometimes gets credit for, where he just avoids somebody leaping at him, instead of countering or taking it as like, well, why should I even go there? I'll just stay out of his way. And Aries does a lot of the same stuff, and it's really, he's worked so much of his career working with people that are so good at flippy shit, which Neville is amazing at. These two have not worked a lot together, but I got a feeling that this match is going to be a hell of a match. And then the last match on the pre-show is going to be Armbar, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or Andre Rusimov Memorial Battle Royal, Armbar. That's going to be a hell of a match. Always is good. Always just giant cluster in the best way. I love that they are doing so much fewer battle royals now, so that you really just have the two that matter. You might have little ones to kind of promote the bigger ones, but it's basically the Royal Rumble, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. The Rumble's Rumble rules, of course, and Andre the Giant, everybody starts in, and it's not even for anything but pride, really. But it's so open. You could have Samoa Joe win it, you could have Sami Zayn win it, Mojo Rawley. If Zack Ryder is not coming back anytime soon, Mojo really could be a contender for this, because they obviously have a lot of faith in him. He needs something without a tag team partner. If I had to choose somebody gun to my head, I would probably go Samoa Joe, though. I think he's probably got the most fuel in the rocket ship up his ass right now. He probably stands the most to gain and the most reason for them to give him the belt. Well, not the belt, but the trophy. On to the main roster, we've got the Raw Tag Team title triple threat match. I believe that is a ladder match now. That is Gallows and Anderson versus Enzo and Cass versus Sheamus and Cesaro. I am hoping that Gallows and Anderson retain the belts. Enzo and Cass winning would get a big pop, would be a great moment for them. I just don't know if they're willing to do that right now. I'm going to say, the thing about this match is none of these guys are really ladder match people I identify with the style. So this is going to be a weird match. I'm hoping it's good. I'm going to say Enzo and Cass, but I'm not confident. You got Ambrose versus Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship. I think this is going to be Corbin's big shot. They're going to make a lot of how last year he debuted in the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, and 1 year later he walks out with the gold. There's really no reason to keep the belt on Dean Ambrose. He doesn't need it. He's a strong enough promo that he's going to get over no matter what. He can afford to take the loss. And Corbin is probably going to be a champion, world champion, by this time next year. it makes sense to put the belt on him. You got the mixed tag. You got Cena and Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice. Everybody seems to believe that Cena and Nikki win, and Cena proposes. I don't understand why they would mix such a non-reality show reality thing with professional wrestling. It's just so weird to even think about that, because any other proposal on wrestling has just had nothing to do with the real relationship. When Macho Man proposed to Liz, they had already been married in real life for a while. They were actually, I believe, closer to their divorce than they were to their engagement at that point. So it's just so weird. I'm gonna go against conventional wisdom, and I'm gonna say that Miz and Maurice win this one. Jericho versus Owens. This is one where I think Owens has a lot more to win out of this match. I think he needs it more, but I think they're going to give Jericho the win just because it's a better ending to their story. With as hated as Owens was with the Festival of Friendship, I think you got to give the victory to Jericho just to kind of put an end to that story. It makes a lot more sense for Jericho to beat Owens this year than it did for him to beat AJ Styles last year. The Raw Women's Championship, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, and Nia Jax. It's hard to call, mainly because Bayley's going in as the champ. Charlotte already had her pay-per-view streak broken. I think Bayley's going to retain, but I think they've got something special up their sleeves that we're not going to see coming. No idea what it is, but I think they're going to surprise us with something, but Bayley's going to win. Then you've got Shane versus AJ. A lot of people are upset about this match. I've got to say, I can't think of anybody on the roster that I trust better to get a great match out of a spot monkey like Shane McMahon. As a guy who can't throw great punches, but he knows how to tell a story, and he's willing to use his body as a weapon, as a prop, as anything in service of the story. And AJ Styles has spent more time wrestling those kinds of people. Pardon. AJ Styles has spent more time wrestling people that do that than probably anybody on the roster. So this is going to be a better match than people see coming. No idea what. I mean, there's got to be some kind of big crazy spot. Last year it was Shane off the cell. They're going to do something crazy. This match is going to be better than people are expecting. Then you got Rollins versus Triple H, the unsanctioned match. I don't even know why they're doing a match when it sounds like it's just going to be a street fight. This would be a really good place for Balor to return, but that's mostly just speculation. The thing is, we know Triple H can call on anybody. He's got Samoa Joe there ready. He's got Kevin Owens, depending on what happens in his match. He can get these people to help him beat down Seth Rollins. I think Rollins is going to win. I think he's got something up his sleeve. We're going to see something happen where he's going to get that satisfying win over Triple H, just like Roman Reigns got last year, even though that wasn't satisfying to that many people. And that brings us to our three main events. We got Taker versus Roman, you got Goldberg versus Lesnar, you got Wyatt versus Orton. And if you are Vince McMahon and you are booking this, and you got to figure out what match to go on last, I got to say, if it was me, I would put Wyatt and Orton last. Because I don't think anybody's expecting Goldberg Lesnar to go very long. I think 5 minutes bell to bell is a high estimate. And Taker versus Roman, however it ends, I do not see it being something that people will want to go home to. Especially if Roman wins. If Roman wins and that's how they close the show out, that's just a huge disappointment with what people have been reacting to Roman with lately. I think you have to end the show with Taker over Roman if that's how they go. But I don't think if that's how they go, it's a big enough deal to close the show. So I would put Taker over Roman, not as the main event. Lesnar over Goldberg, not as the main event. I would have Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton as the main event. Have it feel kind of like WrestleMania 2000 where the bad guy wins, and Bray Wyatt standing in the middle of the ring with everybody pulling out their phone for the Fireflies again, just like at his entrance, or everybody singing along. He's got the whole world in his hands. Bray Wyatt as the champion leaving WrestleMania would be a hell of a way to end the show. I think it's how they're going to do it. Please let me know what you think, either in the comments here or the Reddit Country Club. We've got the thread that we do every week for this show. If this is less produced than normal, which is probably the case, given as, like I said, this being filmed at closer to 4:30 in the morning now, I apologize. In the future, these episodes will be a little bit better, back to my normal standards, but work, new job, trying to get everything fit in is just, it's fun. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Trampions. I love you. I really do. Every one of you that takes time out of your day to watch this means a lot to me. I'm going to throw up some videos here and here. You got the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Most of you that watch probably already are. Hit the like button. Let YouTube know that you're liking this. And again, I love you. Cheers.